Broker IPTV.
Today we're talking with John Clikeman, Managing Partner of Meridian Title and Escrow. And John, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Glad you're here.
Nice to be here.
Now, you operate one of the larger real estate broker-owned ABA title companies in Colorado. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, an ABA is basically a concept where the broker owners of the real estate office become actual owners in the title entity and therefore are able to refer business to their in effect owned company. And of course we're subject to all the RESPA and Colorado requirements as disclosure requirements, etc. But it's basically a vehicle for members of the real estate community to in effect create some additional corollary income in their real estate pursuits.
Now, this obviously has worked out fairly well for you.
So far, so good. It's a little slow right now. We'd like it faster, but
right.
We're living through it.
Yeah. Now, are you seeing an increase in ABA membership?
We are. I think that's got something to do with the fact that the market is changing, and I think the realtors are looking for different things to be able to offer to their customers, i.e. the one-stop shop concept, and also to be more conscious of how they can deal with the consumer on a more consumer-friendly basis. That pertains a lot to the rate structures.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because obviously you've got an advantage if it's all housed internally and it's real estate broker owned, and you obviously don't have some of the overhead costs that other title insurance companies have, and therefore you can pass that on to the consumer, correct?
Yes, that's part of the benefits of it. We try to keep the overhead factors comparatively very low. There's not a lot of brick and mortar issues. There's our owners are really the sales force for the company, so we don't have extra overhead to go out and buy, not buy, but to bring in a sales force as such. We have a built-in sales force.
Right. I don't think people know, but how wide of a range can there be in title insurance?
It can be pretty dramatic when you get into talking what we call reissue rates. Say some companies, and these are the underwriters that have their rates filed with the Division of Insurance, but some reissue rates go back as little as 2 years. Some go back 3 years on a tiered basis. There are underwriters out there that go back 6 years. And then there's also, I believe, one underwriter in Colorado that goes back actually 10 years on a reissue rate. And we, fortunately for Meridian Title, have 3 separate underwriters at this point, and we do have the ability to offer that 10-year reissue rate. For instance, if you have a title premium that would normally be $2,000 on a transaction, and it doesn't come into that 10-year reissue rate time period, that's what you're going to pay. If you do have one that comes within that time frame or goes back that far, you're going to pay $1,000. So you have a basic 50% savings, which can be significant in a real estate transaction.
Final question. Department of Real Estate, every year, beginning of a new year, we've got new rules, we've got regs, we've got changes to the contract. Disclosures are going to be big again this year. They are really trying to spell out the broker duties with the disclosures, and they're really trying to tell the consumer what?
Well, it looks like where they're going with all this is they want the consumer to be more educated and knowledgeable about rates, fees. The new RESPA rule was just put into place. That was intended to simplify the process. I'm not quite sure it's doing that. But they want the consumer to be more, I'd call it educated in what they're really getting into. Frankly, I'm not sure the consumer does understand title insurance all that well, but at least on a rate structure, the goal there is to get people to understand what their options are and do some comparisons.
Yeah, and they really want to make it clear that agents do not shop around for rates on behalf of the client. John, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being with us.
Find more real estate videos at brokeriptv.com.